Hey guys, what's up? It's Wally, Beach River Landscapes, and Rex. Can y'all see Rex? Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Rexy. What, buddy? So, yeah, I just want to talk to y'all about something today because this is really kind of like what you're watching right now. This is a lot of stuff about social media and landscape and lawn care. And what good does it do? What good does it do? What good is social media when it comes to lawn care? When it comes to our industry? I think this is a good question. I've gotten this question a few times. Why do you do social media? I get that a lot. So I guess not too much, but I've gotten enough for me to make it a subject, on what to talk about. So let's just jump into it, shall we? What good is social media? Here's why I do it. And I've talked about this a few times before. I've talked about it. I do it because of the community aspect. I do it because of that. We've talked about it on some live stuff. We talked about it other stuff. At the end of the day, that's why I'm involved in it. So, I can't tell you how many messages I get, and I can't even imagine, guys with much bigger, followings that, if I get as many messages as I get, imagine like Stan Chant, Brian Lawn Maintenance, Brian Top Notch, Ambrose, Blake B&B, the guys, with much bigger followings than I got. Just imagine the amount of questions that they all get, day to day, week to week. I get people that call my phone, all this stuff. And the reason I'm bringing that in, it's not not boasting about it. I'm just, what are you sniffing, Rex? What are you up there sniffing in the background? What you sniffing, boy? It's not about that. It's just bringing a point. So we get so many questions from so many people about so many things all the time. And I think that it is a beautiful thing. I really do. I think it's a beautiful thing. There are a couple of things, though, that I want to make clear, as far as I'm concerned. This, again, it's only talking about me. This is only my, let's see, they call it perspective. This is only my perspective about things, guys. Look at that pretty yellow bloom back there. It's really nice. This is just my perspective. So, we get a lot of messages. We get a lot of phone calls. We get a lot of stuff, people inquiring about things. If you put your nose on I say no nose, and he knows that means don't rub his nose on our skin. And he knows no licking, no nose. Cutie. He's so freaking adorable, it's ridiculous. What? You can't keep pawing me. So we get all these messages from people about things. And the reason I think it's beautiful is because of this. It's because of the speed in which the communication can help somebody make a decision that can affect their life temporarily or permanently. That's why I think it's beautiful. I think it's awesome. So I'll have 13-year-olds, 22-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 60-year-olds, that I get to talk to and chat, that ask me my opinion about equipment, ask me my opinion about business stuff, buying lawns, not buying lawns, kind of trucks to have, what kind of trailers to have, stuff like that. I think that all of that, I think all of it serves a purpose. I think that when we're all in this lawn care life community, this circle that I consider myself to be really privileged to be a part of, just to be a part of this, I think that I think it's awesome. And I love being able to respond to somebody and tell them something and give them my opinion. And of course, I like to be very clear on it just being my opinion. So I'm going to elaborate on that here in a second. But I think the speed of communication is unparalleled. I think it's astounding. I think it's amazing. Somebody can ask, they have an engine problem, they have a tire problem, they have a product question problem, they have a financing problem, they have a, production problem. They have, we always have all these issues and we have all these problems that we need help with. And to be able to reach out to literally dozens and dozens of aspects, whether it's a comment on Facebook, via Instagram, via a forum, a Facebook page, to be able to be a part of a group that interacts with one another and helps one another out with real legitimate answers that we otherwise would not have thought about or have taken years to come around to consider is priceless, man. It's priceless, in my opinion. It's just priceless. I think we're onto something that is pretty profound, in my opinion. I think that we all together have totally changed. I think together we have all totally changed the lawn care industry, not even community. I think that we have changed the lawn care industry permanently, and I think that it's going to continue to evolve, and it's going to keep doing its thing. And I think that stuff is great. So I think that social media is absolutely phenomenal when it comes to that. We work with some companies. Some of us that do this, we're called influencers. I don't really. That's just what the industry calls people that have social media platforms. I like to think more of not necessarily an influencer, just somebody that is just part of the community and just have a YouTube channel. So that's it, or Instagram page, and have a few followers. And I think that's where I'm at with it. But I do take advantage of the opportunities when asked to work with certain companies if I like them. So, we get asked, a lot of us get asked to do a lot of things. A lot of us say no to a lot of stuff for different reasons. I work with just literally 3 people. So, Kohler Engines, Gravely, Husqvarna. And the reason I choose to work with those companies is, first and foremost, it's a relationship. Didn't even think, working with the guys from Kohler, I just started talking about Kohler Engines on my own. I liked them. I met some of the guys. I thought they were cool. Then we got to talking, and one thing led to another. And we get to do some cool things with them. They throw in some stuff for giveaways and things like that, which kind of helps each other out, and I love it. It helps us because it gives us a position to say, hey, we get to work with this huge company, and I think that's humbling. That's just so great. But then it helps you guys because they give us stuff to give you as a thank you for watching us and being a part of it all. It's just all goes round and round. So that's part of it all too. Rex, get over here, buddy. That's just all part of it too, and I think that part is awesome. There's been a lot of just hating and naysaying. I've not necessarily seen on my channel, which thanks for that. So, but I see a lot, and I've seen it calm down though, which is great, since a certain individual kind of was pulled down out of the clouds, and that needed to be. And I think it's great to see the community coming around stronger, or as strong as when I first started, joining this community, the social media community. At first it was awesome, it was great, and then I went through this really bad dip where it was just a lot of negative and tearing down, and I think that we removed the cancer of that out. I think there were a couple of bad cells in that organism, and I think that they have pretty much just been ignored at this point, and I have noticed since then that the community has definitely come to a really good understanding, and I think it's beautiful. I think it's great. So I think there's a lot of amazing things. Like I said, the communication, the answers, the knowledge that is shared. Guys like Johnny Moe. I mean, there's so many guys, man. It's just Spencer's Lawn Care, Richie, Plemons, Randy with Countryside Vlogs, Andy Cut and Clean. There's just so many great Johnny Blades of Grass. There's just so many great channels and so much information out there that I do think that it would be tragic at this point to have this and to not have it anymore for a lot of people. I still learn things from a lot of you guys. So it would just be sad if I just didn't participate in it anymore. I think I'd be missing out, to be honest with you. Would it hinder me growing a business and being successful? No, I think that's silly to say that. I think it's silly to say if you weren't involved in the social media, online atmosphere of landscaping, that you would be hindering your success. I think that's silly to say, and I see people say that, and I'm sorry, I just think that's silly. I think that that's pretty vain to say if we didn't exist, you wouldn't know how to run your business. I don't agree with that at all. I think there's quite a few people that make an amazing living doing lawn and landscape that have never turned on YouTube before, so it has nothing to do with it. That's going to bring me to, let's go to a flip side. I could be going on and on about the positive stuff. I think something that I enjoy is the responsibility of having a YouTube channel and a social media platform like, Instagram. So I think what's important and what I see is I think there's a lot of shine and not enough grit when it comes to the reality of stuff. There's a lot of letdowns, man, and we don't have all the answers, man. And I agree with some of you guys. I have seen people say, why on earth am I going to listen to some dude on YouTube, that blah, 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 that's only got this many years of experience and this many years of experience and all that. And I get where you're coming from, man. I really do. I think that there is a part that is great and amazing. But I think that it is also our responsibility to share, vulnerabilities with you guys, to let you guys know that things don't work out great all the time. They're not always awesome. They're not perfect. I don't get every account I want to get. I talked about this earlier on Instagram. We had this huge account we wanted, and I really thought I was getting it. I swear to God I was getting it. I knew that we were getting it, and we didn't get it. And I was so bummed, man. It was a colleague, and it doesn't matter why, doesn't matter how we didn't get it, we just didn't get it. It really sucks. We have employee issues. We have massive employee issues. We have payment issues with clients. We have all kinds of things. We have the exact same issues that you guys have. You know what I'm saying? Just because we run a YouTube channel doesn't mean that everything is perfect and hunky-dory. You know what I mean? And I see a lot of comments, and I just want to address it. I've seen so many people comment, I want my company to run just like yours. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. No, you don't, man. No, you don't. No, you don't. Our company probably runs perfect 5% of the time. I think Leah says I'm being generous with that. It runs perfect 5% of the time. The other 95% of the time, I'm chasing my tail, guys. I'm chasing my tail. I mean, we have successful moments and all that stuff, and it's great, but I'm going to tell you now, hardly ever do I just go to sleep and I'm not worried or, I don't really stress, but hardly ever do I have a day where I'm just like, I don't have something on my mind that has to do with a company that's kind of in a worrisome spot. It's just always something, it's just always something. But I do think it's our responsibility though, because we do have a lot of guys that come here and look here for answers and stuff. And, I think a lot of my answers come from my personal experience, what I've learned and what I've not learned. And I go to comment sections because really, everybody that watches my channel watches, other channels. I mean, you guys make up the knowledge in this community. You all of you make up the community. You make it up. Like, I can you think pointing a camera at myself makes me know more than you? Oh my God, I don't really snort when I laugh, but sometimes I do it on purpose because it's just funny. I think that there's a persona sometimes that just because we point a camera at ourselves and look weird doing it, makes people assume that we know more than they do. And, that's just not it. That's not true at all. That's not true at all. We don't know any more than you do. You know what I'm saying? We just don't know any more than you guys do. You guys... I will say I know as much as some people do. I know more than some people do, and I know a lot less than a lot of other people do, I don't come to this, I don't do this because I think that, I know more than anybody. I'll be the first to tell you, man, I could be doing this all wrong. You know what I'm saying? I could be doing it all wrong. I could be doing everything that I do all wrong. I did learn something though from my last bid that I did not get, that we weren't awarded. I learned something, and it was a pretty hard sting to not get this account, but learning the reason why I didn't get it and then realizing it was my fault and that I had it in the bag, This was a big 30-acre account, beautiful, gorgeous place. Not anything that we needed, but I actually wanted this property. Did some work on it beginning of the year for them and all that, and I've been chasing this place for, for a long time. Usually when I chase something, I get it, bro. It's like I usually get everything that I go in to bid for. It's pretty crazy. I usually do. I did not get this, and I really wanted this one, and it was a pretty bad sting, and it was a bad slap to the face. And it was all because of the lack of due diligence on my part, having my, somebody that I sub out, having them not do their part, and expecting them to have this part in presentation, but me not following up and making sure it was done. That was a big fail on my part. So I learned from that. And so when I talked about that on Instagram people had some suggestions and things like that. And I already picked up a bunch of tips off of that. So I am here to learn as much as anybody else is. So I've 13 years doing this, okay? You don't know everything in 13 years. You're far from it. You can learn a lot in 13 years if you're paying attention. So I pay attention. In 13 years, I have learned a lot, and I spread every single ounce and piece of knowledge that I have learned, whether it be the right answer or the wrong answer, to any person that wants to know. Anybody that asks me anything, you will always get an answer from me. I try to respond to every message I get, all of that stuff. It gets a lot sometimes, but I spend my downtime sometimes, doing that if my kids aren't here or whatever. But I just want to tell you guys, and this isn't prompted by anything. It's just something I've been thinking about. But, just because we point a camera at ourselves does not mean that we think we are better than anyone or we know more than anyone or anything. That is literally the only difference between you and I is, I got a camera. And yes, having that camera has allowed me to present something that would do no good if you all didn't respond to it. Because you all respond to it, I'm able to become an ambassador for this company. And really the reason I'm an ambassador for just a couple of companies only is because I like the people in those companies and the products are phenomenal, or I'd have nothing to do with it. But it's not like we get a salary for being there or anything like that. It's not like that. It's a relationship for me. I love people. I love good people. Like the Aaron's family behind Gravely. I genuinely, sounds weird, man, but I feel like I love them like their family. They're just amazing people, and the guys at Kohler are the same way. And Cameron, a couple of the guys at Husqvarna, they're just great people, and a lot of people make amazing products. A lot of people do, but to be able to be a part of a small group of people that get to work closely with companies this big, to be able to give feedback to where it alters the engineering, end of a product is substantial to me. I love that. I only have that because of y'all. And that's why I like to do giveaways. I think giveaways are awesome. And I saw somebody leave a comment the other day saying that giveaways were a ploy to gain followers. Man, I don't even need YouTube. I don't need any of this stuff. I don't need shit. Really, I don't need any of this stuff. I got other things I could do. Believe me, man. But I like it. I love it. I want to be part of it. I want to be part of it. So what, I think really now that I'm thinking about it, this kind of goes on the question with Randy, and that, John Ryan with Lawn Care Legends, it started as what YouTube did for me. This just popped in my head, and what the social media aspect of all of this has done for me has enabled me to create a platform that you all accept, because it'd do me no good if nobody hit a subscribe button or a follow button, just to be able to be a part of this and be on that level in social media and the landscape industry has just been such an amazing experience for me, something that I'm just never going to forget, that will always be a part of, my experience, at this time in my life. And I don't know how long it's going to last, but I'm enjoying it while it lasts. But really being able to do that, provide feedback on a product that you're thinking of buying. Because I can't tell you many people have bought a Skag because they've watched my YouTube channel or somebody else's, or a Gravely, or or anything, I think you have a responsibility, though, not to just shout off and say, go buy this just because, like you get to demo it. Like, definitely, that's not me. Y'all know that. But I like the opportunity to explore different tools for our industry and to be able to give my feedback, because I go to look for YouTube reviews when I go buy things. I mean, how many times you buy something on Amazon or anywhere else and you read the reviews? It's no different than what we do. Same thing. But I love what it does for us. So what good has it done me? I've learned things from you guys. I've learned things that I didn't even know about. I've learned a lot from you guys leaving comments, posting pictures, of people that I follow. I love the learning and I love the networking. The networking with everybody, whether it's, people that are in the industry or, people that make stuff that we use. I love the networking. I think that if you guys are into doing this, I think you should go for it. There's tons of room, man. There's not enough people in landscape, on YouTube. I don't think. I just don't think so. I think that there could be more. But I think that there's a responsibility with it. I think that you should definitely make sure that you're a person that can handle the attention that can come with it, and I think that you should use it wisely. And I'm not saying I get a lot of attention. I'm fortunate enough where, people don't think I'm too stupid, and they actually want to, interact with me. I guess that's how I look at it. But I love that, and I take it seriously, and, I have a responsibility with that. And I don't ever want to tell somebody they should go get some product because somebody sent it to me. I don't like that part of it. But I think for the most part, most of the guys in this YouTube community, are guys with high integrity. I know a lot of guys get bashed, and I don't really like that. I don't like seeing it, whether I like somebody or whether I don't like them. They're a human being. They got feelings, man. If you don't like what they have to say, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to listen to it, but I think going out of your way to really try to tear somebody down and make them feel like crap about themselves, I don't like that. And I know that there are things that I have said on YouTube about a particular person or two, and I don't take that back. I mean it. But it's people that tear the community apart is where my problem is. I want to be somebody that helps. I want to be a stitch. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be a stitch in that football. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be one of the stitches to bring it back together. Stitch that football together. You know what I'm saying? So put it in a hand and we can toss it around. That was really dumb, but you get what I'm saying. I just want to be a stitch, man. I don't need to be the ball. I don't need to be the lining. Be the ball. I just want to be a stitch in it. That's all, man. I'm grateful to be where we're at with it, and that's it. But I think it's a beautiful thing. I'm glad that it's here. I don't ever want it to go away. It'll be here far after I know I'm gone, and it has created so much comfort, help, and ideas for people that I think it would be a tragedy for it to not be here. So I just want to say I appreciate it. Leah and I really appreciate everything that all of you have done for us. And you say it's not much and you don't do anything. I've watched a lot of you say that. Every single time you watch this video, you click something, you do whatever, that's just, that's another bullet in that shotgun that we get to fire off. And it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. And I, for one, am very, very grateful, and I'm proud to be a part of this whole thing. And that's it, man. I've just had a lot of questions with all of this, YouTube influencer stuff and social media. How do I feel about it? I don't use social media to grow my business, and there is a way to do that. You can do that. I'm all for that. But I think that my particular, audience, if you will, is not geared towards clients. It's geared towards other landscapers or people that are interested in running businesses and just kind of the social media aspect. But I don't use any of my social media stuff. I don't tell any of my clients that I even have social media. This is just for us. That's why I do it. But anyways, I'll wrap this up. I think it's great. I love it. I'm glad to be a part of it. And let me know what you guys think of it all. All right, leave a comment down below. I got a big, big giveaway announcement coming up here soon. I think you guys are gonna like it. All right. Thank you guys for everything. Peace out.